Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to make a football tray on the CNC. I've got its SVG preloaded onto my save files, so I'm just going to load that onto it now. Pretty easy to transfer an SVG, so if you need this SVG, just send me a message. I'm just kind of adjusting to where I want. I was thinking I was going to be able to fit two things on this piece of wood that I had, but unfortunately I just ended up just rotating this just to get as big of a football tray as I could. I did resize it and rotate it, so now it's about as big as you can get it with this piece of wood. So now I'm just going to go through and start my tool pass. I'm going to get all the inside profiles cut. So I'm just going to do a clearance profile, so it's just going to make sure that I get the right clearance in this area. I'm just going to use a bowl bit that I have from Bits and Bits. Super nice bit. I've really never had any issues with it. Cuts really good. So I'm just trying to find that now and put it on the list of bits that I'll be using. So I'm going to end up using the bowl bit and 1/8 inch bit, and those will be the only two bits for this project. I'm just kind of setting it up now, kind of getting at the depth that I want. So I'm just going to go with, I think, about 0.3, 0.4. It's not really a science, just kind of whatever I think. I'm going to add ramping moves, raster, and I'm going to put the material size as a 0.75 to 3/4 of an inch. And I like just these things, just call them clear because it's just easier for me to remember that it is an area clearance. So that one is done. Now I'm going to go ahead and kind of unhighlight them so I can get to the laces here. Now we're going to move on to the laces. I'm just going to highlight them so then I can get the toolpath ready for them. Again, it's going to be another area clearance, but with this one, it's going to be an 1/8 inch bit. This one's going to be pretty simple to start. All I got to do, though, is my start depth is going to be at the depth that I stopped at that bowl bit. So I'm going to start at 0.38 and only go about 0.442, something like that. Again, ramping moves, and this one I'm just going to name laces just because it's easier to remember. So then after that, we're going to go ahead and do another toolpath, and we're going to do the outside to cut the shape out. 1/8 inch bit, I go a little bit over 0.75 to make sure I get it. That's why I got a spoil board. If it gets a little ruined, that's just the way it's supposed to be. And I'll just flatten if I have to. So I go a little bit over, get the ramping moves, and then I go cut on these. It's just easier for me to remember. That's the last step. Then I go ahead, save all these to my SD drive after I simulate it, and then we're going ahead on the CNC and get this ready to cut. Like I mentioned earlier, bowl bit from Bits and Bits. Now that we've got everything zeroed out, homed in, we're just going to go ahead and get the clearance going. So we're going to get the outsides, the insides clear to the 0.4, 0.44 that I put for the depth. This did get a little messy. Just make sure you got your dust collection going. I don't have dust collection for the video, just to have the video clear for you to see what's going on. But do make sure you have at least something to pick up all the dust so your machine doesn't get clogged or anything like that. This took about 10 minutes to do the area clearance. It wasn't too long, but did a really good job of cutting this out. Now we're going to go ahead and do the laces. This didn't take very long, maybe 2 minutes at the most. So there's just getting all the clean edges, and then now we're going to go ahead and cut this out to that 0.758 depth, and then we're just going to go ahead and take this out of the CNC, and it's ready to go for routing. I'm just going to put a quick round over all the edges just to kind of clean them up. Make sure when you're using the router, use it with caution as you can get slippage. Just make sure you're using it the right way. I'm just going to go around the back here and get all those edges rounded over. After that's to my favorite part, sanding. Now we're just going to sand it all the way down. Go from 100 grit to 220 to get it as smooth as I can, and I do water pop it after the 220, and then I do 220 again. So this is just hand sanding, getting all those corners down and getting everything soft. So I'm just going to add a custom detail to this. This is not for resale, so I'm just adding this custom Huskers logo to the tray. Just a personalized touch that I kind of like to use it, since obviously Husker fans, you want to be able to have something to represent that. After that, we're going to add some cutting board oil to it just to kind of let it set overnight, and after that, we're going to put some board butter finish on. The finish that I've made, it's been working really well for all my cutting boards. Add this on, let it set overnight, and it's pretty much ready to go after I wipe it off and clean it up. Now I'm just wiping off all the excess, and then after that it's pretty much ready to go and it's done. If you found this video useful, like and subscribe. I'm going to have more CNC projects out in the future. Thanks for watching.